Don't simp or lust towards women. The word simp is now so commonly used these days, even the youngest kids got an idea of what it is. When we think of the word simp, the first thing that hits us is a man who is extremely desperate towards a woman who most likely doesn't even know who he is. And the guy doesn't really care. He believes that if he continues to display his unnatural feelings for this woman, that he'll have a chance. And we see this kind of scenario and story across all types of social media platforms. But specifically, one story that stands out to me, a few years ago, I may not know all of the details, there was a man, or let's just call him a fan, who happened to admire a female content creator. And he forked over a lot of money, not only to go see her, but to spend a short amount of time with her. I don't recall the specifics, but let's just say it's a day, right? Now, sure, it may sound innocent at first, a man meeting his, idol, sounds okay. But afterwards, there was another picture on the right side of it, where the female content creator went on a vacation with her real boyfriend sometime after she met with the fan. And guess where she got the money? She used the money that her number one fan donated to her to fund her all expenses paid vacation with her real boyfriend. That's harsh and very tough. I'm aware thousands of dollars is a lot of money, and it's kind of an emotional hit. It would be to anyone if they gave up so much money to a female content creator only for her to just blow it all with her real boyfriend. And it's a similar example with all of these top-notch popular female streamers, where they see these desperate down bad guys as sources of income. And as much as possible, men are not supposed to become like that. We're not meant to be simps. We're not supposed to let our lust take control of ourselves. We were not born in this world for that purpose. Men are not supposed to be excessively clingy or needy or desperate towards women. If a woman says no, there's nothing else to argue against. You gotta respect her consent. You gotta respect her feelings. You gotta respect her situation. You can't force a woman to do things she doesn't like. Why is it so difficult in the modern era for people to not understand that no means no? It's not the other way around. No means yes. No means no. But let's define simping in more exquisite detail. When a man shows unbearable affection or feelings towards a woman, and somehow he expects her to return the amount of energy and attraction, expecting much more. That's basically me saying to a random woman, if I offer you a bouquet of flowers, will you sleep with me? That's unnatural, isn't it? It doesn't really make any sense. In any kind of healthy relationship, there needs to be a sort of relationship building staircase, or let's just use an escalator in this case, called the relationship escalator. Like how most relationships start off, a man and a woman, they usually meet. It's a bit awkward at first, they're strangers, but with initial contact, it's at the very bottom of the escalator. But as they continue to talk, spend time together, get to know each other, hang out, and so on, they move up every single staircase of an escalator to the point where if things go good between them, maybe they'll consider getting into a relationship. That is what I mean by the emotional escalator of relationships. But simping is just focusing only on the lusting, the lovemaking aspect. And sure, you should know that lovemaking is not the only thing that's part or feature of relationship. Simping can also come whether it's just being nice excessively all the time, or agreeing with a woman's words even if you know she's wrong. That's like being a yes man. You'll say yes to everything she says even if it's wrong just to get with her. And that's not right. You know that's not right. All of this desperation that stems from simping, it only empowers all of this disparity in your inner self. And it just leads to the creation of a mindset of a lack of options. If a man or a simp spends all of his time, effort, money, and resources chasing a woman who doesn't even feel the same way or is unwilling to return the same amount of energy and feelings, this man is essentially ignoring all of the other options across the board. Now, naturally, when I say options, you probably heard the quote, there's a lot of fish in the sea, there's a lot of women, and it's true. There's a reason why this saying is said all the time. A man should not get hung up on one woman to where he ignores everything about himself. It's always better if the man prioritizes himself, and once he's finally satisfied with himself, he's come to terms with himself, he's at peace with himself, then he can start consider to pursue a healthy relationship with a woman. Men should not just accept anyone. Men should not just give up their standards for a woman. And sure, the same goes with women too. Women should not just throw away everything about themselves for a man. You have a unique identity. You have interests. You have hobbies. You know what you like. You know what you dislike. Surely you're not going to throw away everything about yourself for another person who doesn't even feel the same way. All of this simping, all of this lusting, all of these thoughts just lead to counterproductive behaviors. We only need to talk about one. A single counterproductive behavior that everyone must have done. Maybe you've taken a nap, maybe you chose to sleep all day, maybe you chose to do nothing, maybe you've been lazy. That's just the surface level. But if you've been in that kind of behavior, if you've been in that kind of expression, well, you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. Simps and these guys lusting, they see the women they're chasing as a sort of princess, a queen, a woman or an entity or possibly a divine being that should be worshipped to where he will give her everything he owns. He will chase her with gifts, and the form can come in many types, whether it's diamond rings or buying her food every single week or sending her gifts and flowers and chocolates, and she just takes it for granted. The woman may say, oh, thanks, but in their minds like, it's free stuff. Well, with all of this talk about simping and lusting, we need to look at this more as a balancing game between women and your general integrity. I'll say it one more time. Men and women alike shouldn't just shove aside their values for people they are interested in. It should never get down to the value of or the purpose of simping or lusting. You don't always need that female validation. Who said that you needed to live for someone else's sake? You need to live for your sake first. That's kind of how it's always supposed to be. And finally, when you engage in that healthy mindset, when you finally accept that the priority list is you first and then other people later, then the picture will start to form naturally. We are not supposed to see only body parts of people of the other genders. All of these words of gyats, chest, tits, people just exemplifying that they would pursue someone just because of a physical body parts. And when people keep talking about that kind of thing, is that even true feelings? Is that interest? Is that love? Especially if the person would say anyone will do. Where have the standards gone? Where did they go? I don't know. You tell me. I'll leave you with just a single question. Something short, something simple. What could possibly trigger you to lust?